Welcome back to The Experience. Today my guest is Jourdan Blue.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Why am I stuck up on this stuff that really don't even matter? I got these thoughts in my head and I just wish they would scatter. My mind's been racing for days, staying awake from the pain. I could use some sunshine, but lately there's only rain. I love these thoughts sound the same. I really torture myself. When I come home I'm still alone, can't do this all by myself. This is my cry for help, but will anyone hear it? Getting so skinny from the stress that you would think I'm bulimic. Man, all these fools I hang around drag me down, but I let them. If I don't turn my life around, I'll be hitting a stretcher. It's not for me, I want better. My mind is far way too clever to keep going down the same path and switching tracks. My vendetta, just keep moving it forward and don't you turn back around. The struggle's gonna continue, gotta work hard for the ground. Not alone, I'm in now. I love your smile with that frown, so things will start looking up. So pick your head off the ground, gotta put your mind to it. I believe in you, not everybody got what it takes to go and see it through. But when I get up on this mic and I spit it, this how I'm living. I'm chilling in the distance. You know why I speak the truth. Look, you know why I see the truth. Look, I know that times are hard, but they start looking up. I had to take a step back from the pills and double cups. I was bad off them drugs, popping Molly with thugs. Used to flex that I was the plug, but it wasn't enough. Like a balloon, I was just steady popping and popping. Without on and dropping, was going crazy, jumping in mosh pits. Devil sitting on my shoulder telling lies. Just stop it, I can't let it control me, no. Don't worry, I got it, yeah. Just look at the profit now. I'm stuffing my pockets, yeah, with them green bills, them blue bills. Now tell me, how would you feel if I came and took the fame I switched the game, gave you chills, gave you chills. It's never been about the fame, not about the riches. I just wanna have a voice so people respect my opinions. Sometimes you gotta make mistakes to make better decisions. All of my shots intend to be made with precision. Hope that I have your attention. Might wanna give it another listen. Stop living in the past because these times are very different. Why is there so much opposition? This world is crazy and twisted, but I'ma take this twisted world and try to upside flip it. And when I see a pretty girl, you know I'm getting a digit. She wrote a number on a napkin, then she told me don't forget it. I am so ambitious, the way I'm killing this beat with my words, you could call it malicious. I am super vicious, the way y'all eating up all of my music, I know it's delicious. I'm dropping them snippets to put your attention on what I be bringing. Listen to my singing, God bless me with this beautiful voice. It's so hard not to be religious. You've been acting suspicious, I'm colder than cold, call me frigid. Your words are fictitious, you talk, no one listens. I'm barely offended, I am independent. Make money to spend it, you can make a difference. Just gotta be willing to put your differences aside and start to compromise. Stick together for the right here by my side. And we will shoot for the sky till we fly super high. Then things change, never mind. All your words, they were lies. Darling, please don't you cry, it's gonna kill me inside. I no longer reside in your heart, in your mind. We split up, we divide. It will take time to get over, but I know that I'll be fine. My heart's been broken before, that was not my first time. Just gotta keep working on me until the day that I die.
Thanks for coming on, sir.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Jourdan is a singer, songwriter, performer, correct?
Yeah.
Right. What you been working on, man?
Got some big projects. I just joined a boy band, so that's the first one that comes to mind.
All right, congratulations. You were also on American Idol, correct?
I was, yeah. I did American Idol season 20, so
okay.
2 seasons ago.
Nice.
That's pretty much what kickstarted the whole music career. I've been singing for a long point,
right,
all my life pretty much, but I never really took it seriously until around 2 years ago. So,
how did you end up on the American Idol stuff? Like, did somebody reach out to you? Did you audition? Like, how does that normally go?
Yeah, so normally, it would be that you audition, you go through like 6 rounds of producers, and then if you get through all those 6 rounds, you finally get to the judges where you perform and audition for them. However, I had no plan to audition at all. Chilling in my bathtub one night, taking a nice Epsom salt bath, and nice. I get a call from my friend, and he's just like, "Hey, dude, so like, you're auditioning for American Idol tomorrow," and it's just like a good friend of mine, and I'm just like, yeah, and you're gonna, go to space, like,
right.
like whatever.
Like he was telling you, like, hey, you're gonna audition.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. And he was like, well, so like I might have already sent in a video of you and they like you, so they want you to audition. And I'm like, when? And he's like, tomorrow at 12. And it's like almost midnight at this point. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I got 12 hours to figure out what song I want to do, watch all of American Idol because I have to know, what it's like and the whole experience.
Right. Was that down here in New Orleans or?
So it's over Zoom calls. So this was 2021. Gotcha. So COVID was still in full effect.
Pretty prevalent. Yeah.
Right.
That's a good friend, man.
He is. Shout out Nick. Thank you so much for that,
man.
Yeah.
So what happened in your journey to that? Because that led you to the boy band, correct?
Yeah, it did. So I auditioned. I sang for the judges. I made it to Hollywood Week. Nice. I met who are my best friends now: Corey Curtis, Colby Cobb, Nicolina Bozo. A lot of the people that I consider my best friends now. I met on that show, and it truly did just change the whole trajectory of where I planned for my life to go. Mm-hmm. And I'm so thankful. So I got cut. I made it to the top 59 of the, with American Idol, made it through the first 3 rounds. And when they cut for the top 24, I was the last person they told no. I was at 25th. So I like to say I made it to the top 25.
Yeah, that's all good. Well, how many people auditioned for that season? Like, in
total, I believe that year it was 300,000 or something like that. Something like that. Total.
So you made it pretty damn close. I mean, that's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
Jeez. So what? So that kind of like faded and didn't work out, but how did this boy band thing happen? Because
so the producer who reached out and was like, Nick, sent me your video, I really like it, I want you to audition. His name is Josh. He's also been a big part of this whole journey and process for me as well. Nice. A lot of people have kind of just come in at just the right moment and helped me, so definitely want to give thanks to them.
Funny how that happens, huh?
Right. Yeah. It's almost like it was meant to be or something.
Yep.
So yeah, he reaches out and he's like, oh dude, who needs American Idol? I'll get you another gig, and I'm like, okay, Josh, I appreciate you. I'm just like, right. He's trying to make me feel better. That's cool.
Right.
And he reached out 2-3 months later and he's like, dude, I got some people that I really want you to meet. And he introduced me to these people who are now, I consider my brothers. And we're in the band together, so I got Jake, Landon, David, Izzy, and Grant. And,
wow.
And I'm just so thankful to be a part of this band and this experience, and that he remembered me enough in order to make it a priority to get me there.
Right. I remember you telling me a couple days ago, like he told you to like just kind of hold tight, right? Like he was gonna look out for you.
Yeah, and which is something that you don't see a lot in the industry.
Oh no.
I mean, you hear it a lot, but you don't genuinely see it happen and come to fruition. Right. So the fact that that happened was really cool. Yeah,
he came through at the end of the deal, and it seems like it's
gave me
working
hope.
out. Yeah,
for sure.
So what's that like getting into a boy band, man? Because this is 2023, so it's different than it was back in the day.
Yeah,
obviously,
it definitely is. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, first of all, when the idea was presented, and all of us, the guys, got together, and we were like, should we just like make a boy band?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, that's terrible. It sounds like an awful idea. No. And then we ended up meeting all the right people, our management, the investors and everything, the people who are spending all of their time and energy on this project. They've just really been giving it their all, including us, the other guys in the band. And yeah, it's been an amazing experience. And the fact that everybody is giving 100. You just got a lot of love and a lot of heart put into this project, which, I mean, something's gonna come out of it. Sure. It's just a matter of time. And
there's a lot of talent.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's undeniable.
Yeah.
But that aside, you need talent, but you've got to have heart. You've got to have, the
will,
action.
The drive.
Exactly. And so the fact that we have, I'm interested to see where it goes. So got a lot of cool stuff coming soon.
Right. So I know, like, when we, you couldn't really speak about it, but now you're kind of speaking about it. Like, what can you say for like the people listening right now and watching? Like, what's going on with that? Like, are y'all touring, or have y'all created songs already? Like, just like, what can you talk about?
So I don't know. It's definitely a fine line. I'm
Yeah,
walking.
yeah.
But I
It's
definitely
cool. Don't say nothing to get in trouble.
right. I do want to give as much as I can though. So I will say that we have been writing, which is awesome.
Right.
Hearing a lot about the industry and getting to actually learn about it and see how it is. Most artists, I would say most probably, don't write their songs
For sure.
and so
like
whether whether it's their choice or because of management, that just is simply the way it is.
Right.
For us, our management has been very consistent that they want this to be us. We kind of formed it and we kind of had the idea and all of this, so they're here for guidance more than a blueprint of what to do. So the fact that we're producing and writing and
Creating your own music that's pretty unique, man.
it is, it's so sick
Because
and
each one of y'all has a talent, like I was telling you, and I thought that was pretty special. That I was like, wow, all of y'all wrote that? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, shit, it's kind of unheard of.
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of.
Well, at least for me, I hadn't heard of it, and so now getting to do it and just fully, being submersed into that whole just experience, the whole journey is really cool. I've learned a lot about writing. I've learned a lot about recording in a studio and just what it takes and looks like to be in the industry.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm very thankful.
And you said you went to like a camp, right? Like a camp to learn how to like.
We went to a boy band boot camp.
Dude, that's wild. Yeah, like, so what's that like? Like a day to day? Like how long was that?
So I'd wake up at around, I don't even remember, maybe 6 or 7 a.m. Wake up probably around 7 or 8 a.m.
Okay.
Something like that. Wake up around 7 or 8, get some breakfast. We would head to the dance studio for 11. Stay there from 11 till 2, go get some lunch or something, come back for another 2 hours of dance studio. That's learning choreography, developing choreography, and also workouts, so push-ups and sit-ups and running around.
Getting in super shape.
The whole thing, yeah.
Damn.
And then we'd get done with that. We'd go eat again, maybe get about an hour to chill, and then we'd be in the recording studio from around 4 or 5 p.m. until midnight or 1 a.m. Get up the next morning.
How long
for
did that
7 or
last?
8 a.m. So the whole process, it was a little give and take. Like sometimes we were more in the dance studio, sometimes we were more in the
like
recording.
the camp itself.
2 months.
Oh wow, dude.
2 months.
Where were y'all?
So we went to LA,
Yeah.
and then after about 2 weeks in LA, we spent a month and a half in Germany, Berlin.
Damn.
That was really cool.
That's what's up, dude.
It was a really cool experience. I'm very thankful. I got to go to Paris. I got to go to Denmark, Copenhagen. And we'll be back in Berlin at some point as well. So I plan to travel even more, Amsterdam, try a few more places.
So it's basically like you kind of made it without American Idol, but with it a little bit.
It feels like I have, just because of the journey and, making it, what is that?
For sure,
but
well, you're living out your dream already.
100%. 100%. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, dude.
That's all I can ask for.
So the next step is you were talking about like possibly somebody else signing y'all to a different label or something like that in the States or something like that? Or?
Yeah, so our management, the company who is helping all of us, to kind of figure out what it's like to be in the industry, they've been doing this for a while. They're based out of Berlin. They're based out of Germany, which is hence why we were there.
Right. It's pretty wild that a German company like saw something in y'all.
I know.
These American guys and like, hey, these guys are the next big thing.
Right. It was
pretty dope.
It was very weird for me as well.
Yeah.
But getting to meet them, the energy, the love is there. You just, as soon as you get to meet everybody, like I went into this with the assumption that I was not going to be a part of it. And from my own choice, just because, yes, it sounds like a cool opportunity, but does it sound realistic? Does it sound...
Didn't feel like it was your thing.
No.
Your vibe, yeah.
And the second that I met these people and got in the studio with them, even before that, just, going to Dave & Buster's and getting to meet them better,
Right.
I was like, wow, I really like these people. Like, I've always been looking for a family like that, a family, brothers or something like that I could just go to at any time, whether I'm having a good day, whether I'm having a bad day, and also people who share the same like-minded goals as me. And that I've got 5 of them now.
Yeah, like, and all of y'all are like on the same wavelength. Y'all are all chasing that same thing.
Exactly.
Which is like, so everybody's hungry right now.
Absolutely. And we all come from different backgrounds, so we all have different knowledge to bring to the table.
That's dope. That's dope. Do they, when, you know, depending on like what company signs y'all, what happens with like the German company? Are they still like y'all's managers and like, but y'all are just with like an American company? Because I mean, I know the music industry is crazy. So
right. So right now we're talking to which now we're getting into some territory that I might need to.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like if you get signed to an American label.
Right. So we'll still be with the company.
Gotcha.
At this point, it'll essentially be like we are the company. We are with like, so there was the company of Germans.
Yeah. Right.
And then there was us. We joined together with them already. So we are one.
Correct.
So if we get signed, they get signed. If they get signed, we get signed. Kind of thing like that.
Nice.
And
they take care of everybody. They manage y'all.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Manage us, feed us, buy us our plane tickets, put us in all of that.
Might be the next One Direction, man.
Hope so, or maybe the next Bout Last Night.
Yeah. That's the name of the group, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't want to say it, you know.
Yeah, no,
I think that's so. Did y'all all come up with that name collectively, or who did somebody like shout that out, or?
Yeah, it was so there. I remember one time. I don't remember exactly what the other. We had a few of them that we were bouncing around.
Okay, yeah, for sure, dude.
And I don't remember what they all were. I do remember that there was one. We were driving from like the Malibu Beach or something like that. We just done a photo shoot and a couple, you know, some content over there.
Pretty dope.
And so we're driving back to our hotel room, and on the way back, you know, we're just like, you know, we've got some really cool songs. We're starting to get photo shoots done. We've got our, you know,
that's pretty wild.
We need a band name. We have nothing, you know. And, you know, at this point, I'm going back. I'm telling my mom, I'm like, you know, I'm going to be in a boy band. She's like, really? What's the name? And I'm like, we don't know yet.
Right.
She's like, right.
But y'all are writing songs and recording.
Exactly.
Like y'all are already doing all the stuff.
Yeah. So it doesn't really look like we got much going on if we don't have a name. So I'm like, you know, we really need to get a name. We're driving back, and as we're passing, we're just like, how about Express Carway? How about Wendy's? You know, how about, you know, we're just naming whatever we see.
Whatever
just kind
comes to mind.
Yeah, just making jokes, like, you know, whatever street sign passes, you know, Oak Street. How about Oak Street? That could be our name, you know, like whatever. And I don't know, somebody was just like, how about Bout Last Night? And or no, we had About Last Night. It was how about Last Night?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, okay. Like typically somebody say, what about this? And somebody's like, no, hate it. You know, that was the first one that was genuinely neutral, at least.
Yeah,
you
everybody
know?
was kind of like, huh.
Yeah, so it was between that and Sold Out. Sold Out was the other idea for a band name.
Not bad. I think About Last Night is way. I think that's it.
Yeah. That one stuck for sure.
Yeah,
so that's what we went with.
When I saw the little logo, I was like, nice.
Yeah.
How old are you? I
am.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know, because with the.
Oh yeah. We'll keep that. We'll save that for the future podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah. So that's the thing about all that, right? It's like there's a lot of tape that you got to watch out for too, right?
Yep.
Because it's so like even when y'all come out and like y'all are in America doing your thing, everybody's kind of got like cognito, right? It's certain, you know, like this guy's this age, this guy.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's
not what everybody thinks.
It's not.
That's what's up, dude.
It's not. It's cool.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like so far, like because you know from like just us talking about your experience, has it been like awesome, or are there things like where you're like, fuck, man, this is like, you know, not for me. I mean, I know you hear all kind of shit about the music industry. So,
right.
So far, has it treated you well?
100%. So that's the you hear a lot about the music industry
for sure.
I personally have been so thankful to not, other than, and I mean like, singing on the street, on Bourbon Street, a street performer, trying to make a name for myself, trying to grow some followers, trying to make some money, keep the lights on at night, some food on the table, you know? I've had that struggling artist, you know, trying to make it type of struggle. But as far as the people that I've met and I've just been so blessed and thankful to meet just the right people at the right time. Like this is clearly what was meant for me is the thing that I take away from it. I haven't had to deal with the snakes. I haven't had to deal with the backstabbing.
Just keep your eyes open. I mean, you're smart, you know what I mean? And like you could feel energy.
Right.
And that's what I was going to touch on next. Like you actually do perform on Bourbon, and you do sing for money on the street, and that's a rough job, man. It's beautiful, but I got a chance to come watch you on Wednesday, and yeah, dude, it gets crazy on Bourbon.
It does.
Like how long have you been doing that for?
So I did American Idol. I met a guy named Maurice, another good friend of mine. He is another street performer on Bourbon. He got me started probably about 6 months ago. Wow. So I've been street performing. My first time was probably about half a year ago, something like that.
Gotcha.
And I've been doing it ever since. I haven't, that is my job. That's my 9 to 5. That's my,
So all of this has happened within like a year's time.
Exactly. American Idol, and then my life. It was. I don't know what I was doing before it.
I was gonna ask. I was like, what the fuck were you doing, man? Like,
I mean, honestly, I do know what I was doing. I had a substance abuse problem for a while. Severe depression, anxiety. I've gone through a lot of mental battles,
trials and tribulations.
Yeah, and so I think that the years of my life leading up to this point were probably one, preparation for what not to do.
Correct.
And two, also things to talk about and speak about with this platform and with the music that I'm doing now, Right. You have to kind of have some life experiences to put into some meaningful music.
It's like we talked about Wednesday night, like life, that you're going to go through different phases and everything's like a stepping stone. And, whether you feel like, oh shit, this is like a low point or a high point, it prepares you for like what's to come.
Yeah.
And you've been doing the right thing and staying true to yourself and, out there grinding. And then this guy gives you this opportunity and it seems like it's working out for you, man. So I'm super pumped for you.
Thank you.
So you're performing, how many nights a week are you usually out there? Because I know you say it depends.
Yeah, it does depend. Honestly, as everything is in my life, I kind of just get on kicks. So right now it's hot yoga, working out, and eating healthy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's street performing, so I'll be out there every single night. Right. Other times it's just whenever I need money. So I'll go out there 2 nights, make good enough money to last me for a week or 2, and then I'll be like, all right, I need to go back out.
Right.
So it's really just a matter of what the vibe is. I really just go with the flow, to be honest.
Well, yeah, dude,
I try to get out there every Friday and Saturday, though.
For sure. Are those like the big money nights? Because I know there's like people in town, stuff like that.
Right, yeah. New Orleans is heavily a tourist attraction, so that's 90% of my income comes from tourism.
Yeah.
So, tourists aren't typically going out to Bourbon to get lit on a Wednesday,
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah. That is true, that is true.
We had a little crazy experience. I mean, has that happened to you before? Like that kind of a wild.
I've definitely had similar experiences.
Yeah.
That one was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely okay with it, talking about it.
Yeah.
Do you kind of want to tell it from your point of view, or do you want me to? I don't know. Because when did you kind of realize what was going down? I know that girl reached out to do the photo shoot.
Yeah. So like I go out there to watch Jourdan perform Wednesday night. Well, Wednesday during the day, it was like 5:30, 6:30. Yeah. Hot as balls, it's freaking NOLA heat. And, he starts, singing these 2 songs that were just, to me, I mean, everybody was watching you, dude. I mean, just like you already had like a stage. And I was like, holy shit, this dude's got something big time. Like it's different to see it on like a phone camera versus real life.
Right.
And then the chick came over to me with the little shot girl. She was like, hey, there's this girl taking photos and, she wants to she was a TikTok famous photographer. And I was like, are you trying to sell me something? Because I'm trying to watch my boy right now. And like, I was recording some footage of you. And she was like, no. It was like, this is what she does. And then she was like, oh, she did his yesterday or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, so I walked over there and you were still performing. I think you had like stopped the song and then you were starting up another one. And, yeah, man, I'm talking to the chick. She takes like, I hate, I'm not a model, so I hate taking photos, but it was cool. And she was talking to me. Next thing you know, it's like I turn around and it's like you see this cop like wrestling this dude to the ground, drunk, looks like a crackhead, typical New Orleans bullshit.
Yeah.
and you're still singing, you know, you were kind of like cracking a joke because they're like right in front of you and your speaker, and I'm just like, damn, dude. I'm like, and the cop was, you know, they were about the same size, which was kind of sad. I mean, the little crackhead guy was a little skinnier. The cop had a little muscle on him, but when people are like inhibited like that on whatever drugs or alcohol they're on, they don't fucking feel nothing.
They get that crackhead strength.
Yeah, dude. And he wrestled him. He did a few like jiu-jitsu moves and wrestled him to the ground. And at that point, you know, I was just like, okay, cool. But then when I saw like you get down to help him, at the time I didn't know what was going on, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, because I thought he was trying to take your money, and that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, they got that other guy coming running around. And the problem with it is, man, it's like, you know, the cop's trying to do his job, and then everybody wants to start acting ignorant, you know? And I thought that was stupid, because I'm like, that's how crazy shit starts, you know?
Yeah. I mean, so I'm singing there.
Yeah.
I saw Redbone specifically. I remember it was a song, you know? So it's starting off, I'm like, daylight. And then... And then the cop like RKO's the dude right in front of me, like, I mean, a foot in front.
Dude. He literally scorpioned him.
And I'm like,
he did a scorpion.
Yeah. I'm like, yo.
And he was still getting up, and then he almost grabbed his gun.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh shit.
So yeah. So I'm sitting there like singing, and I'm like, okay, sometimes, you know, somebody will tip me. I'm like, thank you. Like while I'm singing. Yeah. You're as smooth as a thank you so much. You know, it's like something like that.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm like, daylight. I'm like, sir, do you need help? Are you all right? And he looks up to me and he's like, yes, like, I need help.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
the cop.
Yeah. Like, what do I do in this moment?
Yeah, man.
So I'm sitting there trying to like assess like, what should I do? And then I see the guy, like, he's got his hand like up on the cop's throat. Yeah. So he's pushing with one hand, and then he's like reaching around trying to grab his gun with the other.
Yeah, so he was coherent enough to know where the pistola was.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm sitting there like, oh.
Right. What if?
Yeah. And so there's a lot of people around, but like nobody's doing anything. There's no backup. The cop is by himself. Like the radio fell off. Like I'm like, this is a disaster.
He definitely
like,
needed more training, because he tried to put the cuffs on like 3 different times, and I'm like, bro, that those cuffs should have been on, you know? So I mean, I think they were more like security cops.
Yeah,
they definitely weren't NOPD.
I don't know, dude.
But I mean, like their uniforms were like more green. It was kind of weird. Maybe they were bourbon cops.
I don't know. I'm colorblind, but
yeah. Well, no, they weren't. They definitely weren't NOPD.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, their uniforms were like almost like green. Like, tan top, like green pants, I think. Yeah.
Got you. Well, yeah. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try to help. So the cop is like struggling to get him down. The guy is still, you know, resisting heavily. So I get up and I, you know, kind of wrap my arms around him, give him a headlock, and I wrap my legs around him, and I'm like...
At that point, I'm just kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah, and that's when most people are starting to get wind of the situation occurring at the moment.
Yeah.
And so the cop is like, help me. And I'm like, I am. Like, you're good. Go grab your radio, call for backup. You know, so he gets up, he grabs his radio, calls for backup, and I'm sitting there at that moment. And I'm holding him down pretty good, but I'm also worried about, like, you know, I don't want to, you know, like, actually, like, choke him out or anything. I'm just trying to, like, kind of restrict him.
Right.
And I'm like, so what in my life led me to be in this position that I'm in right now?
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to sing some songs for some people. And
it's
now I'm wrestling a crackhead on Bourbon Street.
It's the environment.
Yeah.
It's Bourbon Street.
It is.
It's unfortunately, it's a beautiful mess, you know?
Yeah.
Unorganized chaos.
Oh,
It's just shit happens.
Yeah. You got to roll with it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. The cop came back. He got on top of him, put him in handcuffs.
Yeah.
You know, there's some other stuff that happened. But
it's not worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Definitely kind of aggravated me a little bit. But, you know, that's why I was telling you, like, later on that night, I was like, dude, you just got to get out of here. Like, you know, it's like your time's coming, you know what I mean? Right. But it's just I don't feel like it's getting better down here. You know, I wish it was, because like going out there that night, I was like, holy shit, I haven't been out here in like 5 years, and look at this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it was sad. It was like Wednesday afternoon. It wasn't like a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, like Wednesday at 6:45.
Exactly.
You know? But also, I think that you know, people, you know, maybe the other people saw you trying to help the cop, and it's like, well, you know, they don't realize like the cop's asking you for help. You know, everybody's got like,
well, and even then, I mean, like my first thought also wasn't, yeah, let me help this cop.
Yeah, right.
But in the moment, anybody would have done the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like seeing what was going on and what could have occurred.
For sure.
It was a clear call.
And it's actually like if they do ask you for help, I mean, obviously you have the right to say no, but it's like you would want to.
Yeah,
because it's like, yeah.
You know, why not try to,
because if the dude would have grabbed the gun and starts like popping caps off, I mean, anybody can get shot at that point.
Yeah.
And so it was a fucking wild night. So that was a good performance.
Yeah, thank you.
And then after that, we just kind of bounced and went and hung out. And yeah, man, it was wild.
Yeah, it was a good time. Appreciate the Chipotle.
Oh, dude,
that was good.
yeah, that was a good night.
But yeah, I mean, so next time we'll maybe go back with a group of people, and
for sure,
under better circumstances.
Well, yeah, and you were solo dolo that night, so normally Maurice is there with you, right? So
right,
it's like, yeah, so
right.
and
he would have been like, bro, no, don't get involved.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, even if the cop would have said like, help me.
See, I don't know. It's just like it's such a matter like. I think anybody in the same situation seeing what I saw would have made the same call.
Well, yeah, because once you told me like what happened on your end,
right.
You know, because everybody's seeing it one way, you know, and I'm just like, what the fuck's he doing? And then like when you told me like, dude, the cop literally was asking me to help him because at some point I'm like, this guy's wrestling this dude for like over 5 minutes.
Yes,
it was longer than a fucking wrestling match. So I was getting kind of like,
I was like checking my watch in between.
Yeah, I was getting kind of like irritated because I'm just like, dude, you can't like. You know, but at the same time, that's when I realized like he's not a legit. He might be some sort of like high up security. I mean, he might be a police officer, but he's not an NOPD.
Yeah.
So
I was like, he got that off of Mortal Kombat for sure.
Oh yeah,
that was definitely.
Yeah. He had a few jiu-jitsu moves in there. When he slammed the dude on his, it was basically almost his head and like Scorpion. I mean, the guy like got back up, and I was just like, he's almost like a zombie. Like he was just doing this shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
It was incredible.
And you know, and that's when shit happens, man. Because you know, people. I mean, if he'd have grabbed that gun, dude, they had at least 300 people out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, so what's on the agenda for the upcoming weeks, man? Do you have like gigs booked? What's going on with the band and what's happening?
So, I mean, we'll start with tomorrow. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna sing. Corey's here.
Okay.
Just came in.
Shout out.
Yeah. So he's gonna be here. I just have a feeling he's sitting over there like, he just.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll go out. We'll sing tomorrow. We got a little photo shoot with the same person who did yours.
Yes.
So that'll be sick. I fly out for LA for the band. We have some meetings with some record labels.
Nice.
I go out July 16th through the 26th.
Okay.
I have a gig in Philly on the 28th. And then I got a couple gigs in New York at the end of the month in August 1st, 2nd.
Are those with the band?
No, that's all single. That's all solo stuff. Yeah, so I'll go with the band for the first 10 days out in LA. We'll do some meetings, get some content, stuff like that. And then after that, I'll trek on my little journey, doing like a little short mini, like week-long tour or whatever.
Right.
And then I'll be back here singing on the street again, doing the same old until I get another call and another plane ticket.
Right. Well, I mean, your TikTok's blowing up right now, right? I mean, what's your TikTok?
I'm trying. I just need 500 more people to get 100,000. So that would be.
follow Jourdan on TikTok. What is it?
At Jourdan Blue.
There you go. There you go.
Jourdan Blue will get you there.
When how long ago did you start that?
So I mean, I had started trying to do TikTok probably at the same time as around American Idol 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Never really got anywhere until I went to New York. I did a tour a while back with a friend, Lake Reagan.
Cool.
Just me and him in his car. I did American Idol a couple months before this, so I had met a lot of people at this point. So I had friends in Florida, friends in Georgia, Nashville, Pennsylvania, New York, New Hampshire, all the way up. And so we just did a little tour, staying on couch to couch with friends.
Yeah.
Did a couple gigs here and there and street performed mostly.
Wow.
And that was amazing.
Yeah.
I also have an insane story that happened in New Hampshire while I was there. But yeah, so did that. What was the question?
Like, how did your TikTok start to get big.
Right. And so on that journey with Lake, I did a show in New York at the Bitter End.
Okay.
And there was somebody took a video of one of the songs that I did. I posted it on TikTok, and it ended up, I think it's at like 400,000 views or something like that now.
Damn.
And that was the one that got,
right.
a little kickstart. I was able to go live. I was able to start posting more. And so as soon as that blew up, I was like, I'm going with the flow of the algorithm, and I'm posting every single day.
Right.
And from there, it just kind of became a habit. And I've learned and gotten better, kind of the same thing with this.
Well, I mean, and it's all the algorithm, especially with TikTok.
Right.
Yeah, and you've been having some success with that also. So,
thankfully,
I mean, that's pretty dope, dude. It's like it's easy, but it's not easy. I guess once you got it kick-started, it was easier because it becomes a job. Right.
Well, so that's kind of the way that it is with the social media side of things. I feel like the work aspect comes at the beginning. It's kind of like, at a job, once you become the supervisor, once you become this, you get less and less responsibility, but more and more pay and recognition.
Right.
It's kind of the way that it is. You put in the work in the beginning, and then you get the results in the end. And that's where we're starting to get results now. So.
Right. Well, I mean,
it's a long process.
Yeah, like you're working every day.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Like going out there, setting up your stuff. I mean, like it's a job, man, but it's a cool job.
It is. It's an amazing job. Yeah. It is.
People coming up to you and like singing those songs, and just people like looking at you, just like wowed at like your voice.
Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest shit, and I was like, damn, dude, that's got to be like a pretty sick ass feeling, and that's just like on a street.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine what it's like on a stage and like people screaming your fucking name and like singing all your songs.
Yeah, that's
probably like the best high you could ever get.
Oh yeah.
Natural high.
I mean, I haven't experienced it yet. I mean, having a crowd of hundreds or thousands or whatever screaming my song, but I can only imagine.
It's coming.
Oh yeah,
it's coming, dude. It's coming.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's probably gonna come a lot faster than you think. I mean, but like it seems like you've been preparing for it. So, like you're talking about getting in shape, doing the yoga, like you're doing you're setting yourself up for success. So all those things you're gonna need. Because that's a physical job, dude. I mean, y'all dance.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
It's a lot that goes into it. But yeah, I mean, like, so that's once you kind of get on that mental, like, it's all a mental thing, Yeah. Like, if you're not doing well mentally, you're most likely not going to do well physically, not going to do well when it comes to your job and your relationship and your, spirituality and then all those things. And so I feel like it's all kind of tied together, I get my yoga right, I get my health right, I get, yoga helps much more than just physically. It also helps me a lot mentally, spiritually,
Right. Oh yes, yoga's like it keeps you young.
Absolutely.
And longevity of life. It's central nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it works out so many things, man.
Absolutely. I definitely recommend hot yoga. For sure.
I'm going to go with you. I know I keep saying that, but I'm going to go. It's just like 76 minutes. I'll have to do it on like a Monday.
75 minutes. So 75. It goes anywhere. It has 60 minutes or 75 kind of thing. So.
Yeah, because like you have to do yoga and then you stretch after. Like most people don't realize like yoga is stretching, but like there's like the yoga moves and then like the stretching of like the ligaments out after.
Right.
Doing like the vinyasas and the downward dogs. That's yoga.
Exactly.
And then like you stretch out after that. So a lot of people don't realize that unless they do yoga.
So I had never done yoga until hot yoga.
You just went straight for the killer, huh?
I
didn't
did.
Even, like do the regular shit, yeah.
And I didn't think I would like it. Yeah. I thought of it as being something tedious and taking a lot of time in order to get results, which is something that I don't like. I don't like starting a new thing and not being perfect at it, which is
it's hard, man.
A terrible mentality.
Well, just shows that you want to be like good at everything, or you want to be good at whatever you do.
Right.
That's what it means.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So like, as long as I'm like not in front of a bunch of people, like I'm okay with it. Like if you ask me to just sing a song that I've never sang, no, I'll go sing it in my room a few times and then I'll come back and sing it for you.
Oh shit. Well, that's what I was gonna ask you about, like all the different like songs that you were singing on Bourbon. Like, like you knew a lot of those, or is that something you had to like listen to and practice? Like, what do you do to like prep for a song?
It depends. So I say that about the not being able to sing a song unless I practice it on my own. That is the mentality that I've had for most of my life, and I've recently gotten to the point of kind of just going with the flow.
Like finding your, like knowing your voice.
Exactly. Just knowing that I've got it and just trusting it. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
dude,
start with a song, and if I don't know it, I might stumble a little bit at the beginning, but I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
And kind of same with this.
Repetition.
Yeah. I sat down 2 days ago with a little notepad and a pen, and I was like, all right, we're gonna map out the podcast. We're gonna figure out how I want to do it, what I want to talk about, what I'm not gonna talk about, how I want to word things. And I sat there and I looked at that piece of paper for about 2 minutes, and then was like, actually, I think we're just gonna wing it. And I threw the pen down.
Those are the best.
Yeah,
because like I told you, episode 1, Glenn Smith, I wrote down like 20 questions, and it took 2 hours. Well, I mean, one day we'll be able to go as long as Joe Rogan, as long as we want, because it's your story, man. Like I don't want to like cap it off, but the algorithm of the internet and whatnot, and people's attention spans are fucking shit. So it's like trying to keep them engaged, but it's like each question he just had like a really long answer, which was what I love about him, and like or anybody else. But it's like you got to keep it consistent. So it's like normally I'll do like 5, but a lot of times it's off the top of the head.
Right.
Like that's why having like that conversation before we do this is like really prevalent on catching that vibe.
Absolutely.
And like I told you, I don't want to get to know you too much, because then it's like it's not as surprising.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, but dude, that night I went out there and watched it, that was a fucking surprise. I was
cool.
like, Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Not only were like you're singing incredible, and then that shit happened, and I was like, oh, this dude's like kind of like a homie. Like, so I think you have all the criteria of being a great artist.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And personally, I think like
at least I won't need to buy security.
For sure, dude. Yeah, you'll be all right. I think, I'm really excited to see like the band, and like, cause like all of these guys are like incredibly talented. I think it's cool that y'all get to write your own music.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of stuff you shown me, that's y'all. And I thought that was pretty impressive, to where I'm like, okay, so these guys kind of have like a hand in it, and that's rare. So y'all are taking it in a different direction than other artists, and I'm sure like a lot of other bands have been able to do that, but not as much,
Yeah, well, and I mean, like, even there are definitely bands who have done it probably the same way that we've done it, or similar.
Yeah.
But it's just you don't see it very often.
No, man.
There are artists, and it's just not very common. You never see independent artists who are making it and doing very well and continue to do it. It's typically, like Russ is an example for one. He's been independent and done all of his stuff on his own. He writes, produces, and all of that, and he's just come up because he wanted to do it, and so he put his mind to it and did it. You don't see that very often. So not to say that we're independent at all, but the concept of still having our music be us and having it actually be real, having our emotions and our feelings in it.
Yeah, somebody's not telling y'all what to sing.
Exactly.
So that's like, it's about as independent as it gets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like they're like, hey, y'all wrote that? Okay, play that. Yeah. Sing that. That's cool.
They're there to be like, okay, this is the spot you need to be in. This is the venue you need to sing at. This is how you should dress, kind of thing like that. They'll help us with that, that like, our style of what
the look,
like the
but the music's all y'all.
Wow. And so the dance choreography as well, that's also, so we don't come up with the dance choreography. We have talented people who do that. Amazing. That's awesome people, but it's tailored to us. They're like, what is y'all's vibe? It's not, okay, here's a dance number from 1978. This is what will get you there, We're
gonna throw a little Backstreet Boys in there. Like,
exactly. What? Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe not.
That's what I'm saying. Going. But that's cool that they ask y'all for your opinion on like how you feel.
Yep.
And then all of y'all put
that was my deal breaker. That's why I didn't think that I was gonna do it, because you don't,
Yeah, I didn't even think that was possible. That's why when you told me that, I was like, holy shit. How many guys are in the band again?
6 total, including myself.
Nice. And you play instruments. Does everybody else play instruments? I know you said like you got guys that are producing music and sing. I mean, there's a lot of talent on that.
So I would say comparatively, I don't even play music, but I do. David.
Yeah.
David Lee is going to be the number one. Guitar, keyboard, production, mixing, songwriter, singer, all of it.
Gotcha.
And he's 16 right now. So
yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah. Jake plays a little guitar. Landon is learning bass. I play a little guitar, a little tiny bit of keys, and I played trumpet for 4 years. So
yeah, man. Well, I told you I did that for 2 years, and I loved it. Yeah. I really wanted to play the drums, but my parents couldn't afford it.
Okay.
So like I borrowed my uncle's. And there's a lot of solo parts in trumpet.
Yeah,
so,
no, 100%.
Did you play it in a band?
I did. I did the marching band.
Yeah, so like there's like Windstar Overture and like all these songs.
Yeah.
I learned to beat it on a trumpet. That was pretty sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your folks like big supporters of you? Like have they always like thought you could sing, or like what's it like back home?
Right. So my family has definitely been very supportive of my journey, and I've thankfully never had, my mom's a cop, my dad's a lawyer, so
nice.
Thankfully I didn't have, you're going to be a cop or you're going to be a lawyer kind of thing,
right.
Influence in my life. They've definitely been supportive. I have seen, like some friends will have like a momager or their dad will be their manager and kind of help with their stuff, and I'm like, that's really cool, like, but at the same time, I don't think that they're qualified. I think that we should stick to law when it comes to,
for sure.
But
unless your dad does musical law.
Yeah, no. So that's a thing. Like,
no, it is. Well,
he doesn't. But I've told him, I was like, you should probably learn that at some point. And he's told me that he definitely wouldn't mind. Like, actually, he's smartest dude I've ever met. Yeah, it's insane. Which.
My
don't get a big head, Dad. But
yeah, my good friend Chris, and lawyer, and who's helped me develop this podcast. He went for music law, but in New Orleans, it's not like a big deal. Like you'd have to go to like L.A. or something, or so like he does the real estate stuff now. But that was like he used to have a production studio, and like Currency recorded there. Yeah, man, like he built like a music studio, and yeah, dude, he's a talented guy, entrepreneur, just always has had like aspirations to do shit. Yeah,
that's awesome. It's definitely gonna take you somewhere. Take him somewhere. Well, so that's thankfully awesome. I've had that that support in my life. It hasn't always been the easiest relationship with my parents. Mm-hmm. Growing up, I would always get into trouble. I was a discipline problem. I would get in fights. I would talk back to the teachers. One time I got expelled or suspended.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
I did get expelled, but the story that I'm talking about,
right?
Like I threw 2 bus seats out the bus window.
Like, how the fuck you did that?
I don't know. I didn't have an answer for it. Like guy brought a wrench to school.
Okay.
And I was like,
had some tools.
I know what I can do with that. And that was shit. Don't know. My dad sat me down that night. He was like, look, like you do dumb shit a lot. Right. You do. And I'm like, I do.
Straight up.
He's like, you get in fights, you talk back, you don't clean your room, you lie. I get it. I did the same thing. Can you help me to wrap my head around why? I just started laughing. I was like,
you wanted to know why you took the seats out? Yeah.
I was like, I don't have an answer for you. I don't know.
Dude, how old were you when you did that?
17, something like that.
Damn, dude.
And so, like I said, I'd struggled with substance abuse as well. That started around 17.
Right.
It got really bad at one point, and so this is before it got bad, but whenever I was 16, as it was kind of starting, my mom being a cop,
for sure,
she can't have that, you know. One thing led to another. She gave me chance after chance, and I ended up getting kicked out whenever I was 16. So I kind of ended up being on my own. Not on my own in the sense that, they weren't there for me, but on my own as far as like, I'm making adult decisions, so I gotta have adult consequences.
Yeah, you're not living in this house.
Right. And so I bounced around from friend's place to friend's place for a while. I think it was my 16th birthday, actually. Wow. It was the day that all of it happened. So I bounced around from friend's place to friend's place. I was working at a pet cottage.
A what?
A pet cottage. So like they'd groom dogs, and they would, like if you go on vacation, we'll dog
like
sit
a
for you kind of thing.
Yeah, like a boarding.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so I was a kennel worker. I'd be there. I'd clean up dog shit, take them out, give them their pills, feed them, stuff like that.
That's what's up.
And there were a couple months where I was living in the bathroom, sleeping on the blow-up mattress on the floor next to the kennels of like 50 dogs in there, just chilling, And so, that was definitely a low for sure.
What was like going through your head at that time? Like, were you mad or like what were you?
I was using. I was numb. I was used to it. It was my current. You know, it was my present, and that's just what it was.
Right.
And
because it sounded like you had like a pretty decent like upbringing. So like I always ask people, you know, being an addict myself, like what would like put you on that like path? Were you like depressed about life, or did you just feel like, hey man, fuck, I don't, you know, this isn't going the way I wanted to?
So I think that it started with, it was honestly rooted in all of the, you know, I was diagnosed with ADHD, ADD, bipolar, OCD, ODD, mood swings, anger problems, depression, anxiety.
All the good shit.
All of those things I've been diagnosed with.
Yeah.
And I was put on 7 or 8 different pills every day, taking like 4 or 5 in the morning, 2 or 3 at night.
Right.
And
so the brain's all over the place.
Yes.
Trying to balance you out.
And I was just like a robot. I hated it. And so I started self-medicating by smoking weed.
Right.
That was my first thing. And then, you know, gateway drug.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That one thing led to another, and, you know, the people that I surrounded myself with, and tried one thing after next, and I got addicted to Xanax. And so Xanax, if you've ever taken it or know of it, it just, you don't care. You take it and you have no cares, you have no worries, you have no anxiety, no fear.
Right.
And I just found myself, I'm like, keep finding myself in these situations that I'd never be in if I didn't take these. And so I'm just like,
so you were aware of that?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, because
a
lot of people aren't aware.
And I'd be like, let's keep taking it.
Gotcha.
You know, see where it gets me. Like it's gonna end up well. I ended up overdosing.
How many do you think you took?
15 that night. I had
I've never even taken one, man. God damn, it sounds like a lot.
And that was the thing, is like, I don't know what I was taking. I don't know if it was real. I don't know if it was fake.
Well,
I don't
you build
know
a
if it was
tolerance.
laced. You do, and that was, I had taken a bunch over, you know, the past few weeks, and it wasn't even like I wanted anything to come from it. I was just like, oh, it's so good, just keep feeding me more. And I would never steal, I'd never get angry, I'd never try to fight anybody. And that's the thing, like, people, that was the number one thing, you know. I'd have friends take one and they'd steal from me, best friend, you know. It's like you have no thoughts, you just do whatever.
Well, everybody handles drugs differently, you know.
Right.
Especially, you know, every drug is going to affect you differently.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that was the kicker. That was the moment in my life whenever I was like, this has got to stop, dude. You know, because one night I did get mad. I got real mad because they were trying to take them away from me. That's what I got mad about. I'm like, you don't take my bars from me. You know? And so,
not unless you want that ass whipped.
Yeah. And so I ended up overdosing one night. Friends were too scared to bring me to a hospital. So
always happens.
Ended up, I don't know, by the grace of God, living through it.
Yeah.
Woke up the next morning, you know, throw up everywhere, and cold turkey. Just cut it out. That was it? Stopped. Yep. Stopped smoking, stopped drinking, stopped taking pills, stopped it all. And that was about 2 years ago.
Nice.
So
you hit a rock bottom, and then thankfully you didn't have to like go through a program to get you straight.
Yeah, thankfully. Well, and it's also because, like, you know, my parents had no idea what was going. They knew what was going on. Yeah. Just because they're not stupid.
Well, for sure.
But like, they didn't know the details. They didn't know the depths that it was going to and that I was getting to. And one night I called my mom. I told her everything. I was like, I have a gun. I shouldn't have it. I've been selling weed. I've been taking all these drugs. I'm not good mentally. I need help. And she was there for me. She took me in. She talked to me. She got me going back to church. I started singing in church.
There you go.
That's how I kind of got back into singing, doing music. Went home, started writing. And 2 years ago. Now we're here.
Here we are. God does work in mysterious ways, man.
The mysteriousest.
Well, it's like, you know, when you start doing the right thing, when you're not doing the wrong thing, I noticed in my journey so far, he's just been opening up all these doors.
Absolutely.
You know, like last week we interviewed my sponsor, Steve Shulkins, and you know, shout out Steve. And you know, like, that dude saved my life twice, you know, through God. You know, God used him. But it's crazy because I remember him always telling me, like, you have to give it all up, because like the old Eric's got to die in order for the new Eric to be reborn.
So true.
And I didn't know what that meant because I was like, well, I like this Eric. You know, like, why can't I just, like, live my life differently? And it's like, you can't because you're fucking living wrong.
Right.
And, yeah, dude, I literally have changed everything that I've done up until this point. And you could tell when, like, you are living right and like, you kind of, like, maybe not doing it because, like, shit will start going wrong. And don't get me wrong, like, you know, shit comes in waves. You'll have, like, you know, 2 or 3 months of, like, great stuff. And then, like, you know, because life's going to happen to you on life's terms. You know, it's how we react. But I've noticed the more I just, like, stay right and just do the right thing, just great stuff's been happening. And I mean, like, even that night with us, you know, like, you know, it could have went bad, but Absolutely. You know, it's like, thank God that it didn't. But, you know, you have to also understand, like, you know, shit's gonna happen, life's gonna happen, and just try to, you know, react positively. And no, man, that's awesome. I'm really happy that you're sharing that because, you know, hopefully somebody out there right now who's maybe going through something, they need to hear that. You know?
Absolutely.
Because everybody thinks like, oh, you know, this guy is famous or whatever. And it's like, no, this dude actually struggled, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all do a little bit, you know?
I agree. I think that and I came to this conclusion probably the second that I got sober was when I, because I just kept thinking, I'm just like, the whole time that it was happening, which now, you know, I've been living with myself for pretty much my whole life.
Yeah, for sure.
I've gotten used to it, but at the time I was like, this isn't me. Like, this isn't me. Mm-hmm. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I taking these substances? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Like, this isn't me. And then I finally got to the point when I'm just like, I realized, like, it hit me when like it was like a revelation. I'm like, if it didn't happen to me now,
oh yeah,
it was going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
It was going to happen once I surround myself, once I'm in the industry, and that's all that I am surrounded with. You know what I mean? Not surround myself, but that's just what happens in the industry.
Yeah.
It
gets bad.
I'm not curious anymore.
No,
I'm not even the slightest curious anymore.
Well,
so
you've been there, done that, and a lot of people, they do get caught up later on, or I mean, it just depends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my rock bottom came at like 30. You know, I thought like, you know, I got past 20 and 21 and 25, and you know, it happens to us all at different times, you know. So like, your time is different than my time, you know. So that's great because you got your whole life ahead of you and you got your whole career ahead of you, and like, you're gonna need to be fucking in the right mind frame, you know.
I'm very thankful. That's the biggest thing is that I grew up in church, thankfully. So I've had like little things here and there that have stuck with me. Mm-hmm. One of that being that like, God will never put you through something that you can't handle. That's 100%. Been one of the biggest things that has stuck with me, because it doesn't matter what it is that you're going through, you can handle it.
Correct.
There's a way to.
Correct.
And so it's just a matter of finding that and working through it and learning from it. And so that was my thing. I'm just like, there's a reason that I'm here. And sometimes whenever I am doing well, it's, you know, some people were like, what, are you crazy? Like, my life's been going real good for the past week. I've gotten this and this and this. I'm just like, God, give me something not good. I need something to learn from.
Right.
Humble me real quick.
That's what's up.
Because like, I'm ready to grow. You know, sometimes I'm like, this is so much, God. Like, please, like, why? Mm-hmm. But then there are sometimes I'm like, this is going amazing. Thank you. I'm so thankful. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's grow a little bit. Give me a little bit more.
I like that, dude.
Give me more responsibility.
I just learned something from you. I like that. That's a lot of people don't think like that, man. That's why I think personally, like, your mindset, I wish my mindset was where it was at your age. You know what I mean? I've always thought like I think, you know, but it's like you got to go through those different stepping stones, and you know, a lot of the things that I preach and like talk about now, it's like that all took like time, the program, you know, just like learning a new way of life. And,
and I mean, the people that you meet are also teach you a lot. So you can't just learn it all in a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Christina Smith for introducing Jourdan to me, because
shout out to Christina for introducing me to the 5-second rule.
Everything. That has I still got to get on that, man.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm still reading the Bruce Lee book, but I'm getting close to finishing it. The Artist of Life. Oh yeah. And you know, they put me on that, and it's been pretty life changing, man.
Oh yeah.
So for people out there that want to try to like, follow you, subscribe to you, what's your, you got your TikTok, Instagram?
Yeah, you can find it all under Jourdan Blue. So my name is Jourdan Blue, Jourdan. Yep. Blue, just like the color.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong earlier.
It's okay. Everybody did. So
well, it's French, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's not. I'm not French.
Correct.
But I was named after a street in New Orleans, and New Orleans has a lot of French culture. So
for sure.
That is, yeah. The spelling is French, although I am Welsh. Apparently, my 27th great grandfather was the King of Wales.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Fuck
but
yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. You better look back in that history and see if you got like a little check waiting for you.
I'm waiting for somebody to come knock on my door and tell me that I'm next. Yeah.
You are royalty. Son.
Yeah, the big scroll. Messiah. Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you for coming on tonight. It was amazing hanging out with you. I love hanging out with you. I'm looking forward to seeing you perform again, and hopefully you'll get some good news soon about the States. And I mean, it's gonna happen. Do you manifest a lot?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, all day. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think of it. I don't really call it manifest, but the concept, yes, I do.
For sure.
Whatever that may be. Just recently, I think I told you about Nardwuar.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been like. I wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna be interviewed by Nardwuar one day.
Yeah, that shit like had me tripping.
Did you watch it?
No, not yet, dude. No. I think. Wait, you told it to me that night, and I couldn't like hear the name. Like I couldn't remember how to spell it, and then you spelled it for me, and then I was like, dude, that is the name just is trippy.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna show you when we get done.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate it. Looking forward to having you back. Can't wait to record some footage with you, and hopefully everybody likes this episode. If you guys like the podcast, hit the like, subscribe button at the bottom, and we'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good night.